All right, so last time we said for the balanced immunization project, you got to create your pension plan. Hopefully you've done that already. Or if you're doing a bank, you got to create your bank. And you're going to pick some scenarios. The typical pension plan is 70% stocks, 30% intermediate bonds. You might try 25% stocks and 75% long-term bonds. We'll talk about that. Or you might try 25% stocks, 75% long-term bonds, and then immunize with balance. You remember the dollar duration gap formula. We'll have to talk about that. That's going to be a little bit tricky. So we'll create a swap. I'll talk about some swaps you can create that are pretty straightforward. We'll get historical prices and all that. So the main thing is create a pension plan. So I've done that here. So hopefully you've also done this. I created a pension plan, something that would look similar to the chart that good Robert Arnott did. Something similar. That would be perfect. These add up to 100%, so I did that. All right, so now I got my my liabilities. So the duration's 15, convexity's that. So I'm going to take that and copy those two numbers and bring them over to my main page.
Wait, is that right? Isn't it supposed to be like the coupon and the yield the same, or that doesn't matter?
I'm sorry.
The
what?
coupon and the yield, you like have 5% coupon and the yield is 5.52. Since we started with 5 and then the 5 was the one that we kept changing.
I'm not sure if it. Yeah, I'm not sure it matters.
Oh, okay.
But we're kind of stretching this spreadsheet to do more. So if the coupons, I don't know why this formula. Yeah, I'd have to look later and see. But, so something. But so our duration or convexity. You could take whatever the current interest rates are to do that, because there is no coupon on. The coupon won't affect this at all. It's going to come down to your discount rate. So whatever your current discount rate is, what you really want to make sure it's yours in your yield.
Okay.
But there's my duration and convexity. So I'm going to bring that over. So here's my liability. So I got my duration, I got my convexity. Looks like I missed it by a line. All right, duration, convexity of my liabilities. On the stock market, I sent the file out to the option people, but y'all can use it for yours if you want. I'm going to go back to 1970. You can go back as far as you want to go. But the file I sent out, if you can't find it, let me know. But there's this file here I sent to the option guys. But if I go back to 1970, I got the stock market returns right there, like the 1970. So I just copy and bring that over. So there's my historical stock market. So that's kind of good. Now what I'm going to do, intermediate term bonds, I'm actually going to move this up. So let me bring it up so I can actually see. So intermediate term bonds, I want something with a duration around 5 years. So again, I'm going to use this bond calculator. So I'm going to use, say, a 10-year bond, try a 7-year bond, 6-year bond. That looks about right. So I'm going to use that, my duration and convexity of my bond portfolio. Sorry, I kind of have no idea where anything is. For long-term bonds, I'm going to do the same thing, long-term bonds. Let's try a 20-year bond. So duration of 13, convexity of 2. So set that up. And then the swap. Now here's what you got to decide to do on a swap. But I think on the swap, what I did at USAA is the one I really like to use. You can pick whichever one you want to use. But the nice thing about swaps is you can do zero coupon swaps. At USA, I did a 30-year zero coupon swap, and so there's my duration and my convexity. So I'm going to use that, but you can use whatever you want to, but just pick something and set it up. And so there's my short-term bonds, there's my long-term bonds, there's my swap, there's my liabilities. And so what I need to do is get returns for each one of these, right? So how do I get the returns? Well, you've got the formula right here. You can just copy and paste, well, you can't copy it, can you? But edit. So this formula right here, y'all know the first part of this formula. And for some reason it won't let me do anything. Edit text. Well, it won't let me bring it out. So just bring that formula over. So what do we need? We need change in yield. So what is your change in yield going to be? So we need some yields. What yields will we need? Well, we need corporates and we need swaps. Those are the two yields we need. Where can we get those? Well, y'all know to get interest rates, right? So www.google.com and do the H15. Google.com, H15, and go to historical data. And so the swaps curve, I don't know for sure how far back the swaps curve goes. Let's go see. I'm doing a 30-year swap, so that's the one I want. I want annual. Let's see how far back we can go.
2,000.
Only 2,000, so we're going to have to use a substitute for it, but that's okay. You can use the 10-year Treasury as a substitute for that, so that's not bad. There's a high correlation between those two, so we'll do that as a offset. So 1980.
Should we check the
2000.
correlation between the...
Well, we only have 10 years, but we can, yeah. Let me get some... There's my swaps. Anything with interest rates is going to have a high correlation, so let's bring in the 10-year Treasury. 10-year Treasury annual. We should go back to 62 on that. But I'm only doing it from 1970. 1970. I got so many things open here. So if you want to do a quick correlation, it's not much to do a correlation on because it's not that many,
Yeah, it'll be
many years. But it's going to be really high, 0.99. It's going to be high correlation with the triple B bonds because it's just the nature. Interest rates are highly correlated to each other. The spreads aren't that wild. So here's the triple Bs. We should get this back really far, but we'll see how far back it will let us. Well, 76. They used to have it further back than that. I don't know why they stopped. All right, we'll have to use the 10-year as a substitute for that too. That's all right. This is just an approximation. All right. Just make sure the correlation on that, but it's not going to be as high, but it'll be pretty high.
Yeah, that's what points.
0.98, so close enough. So what we'll do is we'll substitute the change in the 10-year for our change in interest, because we're really just looking for an interest rate environment. Now in a crisis like 2008, yeah, that's where you get something really strange, where the triple B goes up and the Treasury comes down. So it's those years, and that may be the negative use in 10-year Treasury because that's the most important year, right? Your liability is falling and your swaps are going up. That's the thing I showed you with my scenario, right? I mean, it's like the best case scenario you can have. we'll try that. So let's do the change in yields, triple B in swaps. So actually, I go back to 1970, but I actually need one extra year here because I need to know the change. So for the 10-year,
Oh, yeah.
gotta know what that first year is, 1969. I'll probably have it opened. 1969 was 667. All right, so my change in yield for triple Bs, since I don't have 10 years, since I don't have triple Bs, I'm gonna do that, and for the swaps, same thing. And I'll do that down to here, and then here I'll substitute the triple Bs there. Y'all see what I'm doing? Use the 10-year until you run out. And the swaps is much better. There is a very, very high correlation to swap yields and 10-year treasuries, so that's actually gonna be a pretty good estimate. All right, so we got our change in yield. So what do we need to do now? Let me turn this off. Everybody's got me caught up with me here.